Thank you very much, Senator Josiah Benoit. And friends, let me say to you, speaking after Josiah tonight, while I have held true to the saying that short men are usually very powerful, tonight I honestly feel that I do not have the kind of power to deliver following Senator Josiah. But I will do the little that I can. Let me recognize the presence of the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mrs. Skerrit. I wish in a very special way to recognize your own man, a son of the soil, a real powerhouse, Senator Josiah Benoit, Dr. Kenneth Darrow, and what I consider the entire cabinet of ministers, and they are all over, not just up front. I think it looks like a cabinet meeting, or should I say a national rally? Of course, I want in a very special way to recognize you, the hundreds of supporters, residents of the Roseau South constituency and more so Newtown area for turning out here tonight. Let me just say a pleasant good night to every one of you and to those listening via radio and the social media. I will attempt to be as brief as possible. Let me begin by saying that we need to establish first and foremost from the very onset that the Roseau South constituency, the PAL rep for this constituency is not Josiah Benoit. The PAL rep for the Roseau South constituency is one and only Joshua Francis. However, listen, however, the parliamentary representative for the Roseau South, Joshua Francis, is a miserable failure. And consequently, a vacuum has been created for leadership here in Roseau South. And that is why Josiah Benoit, a mosquito, has demonstrated to the people of Roseau South that the power of a mosquito is greater than the power of a cow. You see, because what they don't understand, a mosquito can bring a cow to his knees. And in the absence of leadership, it takes a young man, Josiah Benoit, to fill the vacuum that has been created. And so you need to be eternally thankful to Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, who always, on every turn, every decision that he takes, demonstrates wisdom, vision, and prudence. Friends, let me say to you that Dominica is not an easy place to run. It is not the easiest country, especially in these times, to be at the helm of leadership. And don't ask me how he does it. Those of us who sit at cabinet with him, we recognize that the only man that in this day and this hour can really man the ship of state in the manner that it is being done is none other than Roosevelt Skerrit. You heard your parliamentary representative, you heard the senator This may just be prophetic. In fact, I'm feeling it tonight. Can you feel it? You heard the senator tonight speak to the level of development that has touched the lives of you, the people of Newtown and the Roseau South. Development of sporting facilities, development or construction of washrooms, road rehabilitation, the creation of employment through the National Employment Program and other vehicles, intervention through the small business, and the list continues. You heard him speak of education in Newtown and the Roseau South. Let me say to you that education, with all of the related training, constitutes for us here one of the most important tools for development. The Dominica Labour Party recognizes that for us to take this country forward, we must ensure that our people are fully exploited. Hence, when we took a decision to create universal access at all levels, we recognize that this was a prerequisite, a precondition for ensuring that our Dominican society becomes prosperous, that we live in a peaceful community, and that we live in a just society. In fact, Newtown is one of the shining examples of the resources that this administration has been putting towards educating our people. Right behind me is the new Newtown Primary School, a gift from the People's Republic of China, and we want to thank the People's Republic of China for assisting the people of Newtown and the Roseau South. In fact, let me say to you that the Newtown Primary School is the only primary school on island where we have a state-of-the-art ICT lab that meets CXC standards. Now, this school could have been in Trafalgar or La Plaine or Viecas, but we took a decision, and the Prime Minister took a decision to put this school here in Newtown to cater for the children of the Roseau South constituency. We recognize that with respect to tertiary level education, that the number of students attaining bachelor's degrees over the last 10 years has grown exponentially. Today, as a result of the investments of this government in the education of our people, Roseau South, and more so the people of Newtown, now have, as never before, the largest number of young people studying in universities around the world. To a very large extent, that has been achieved because of the investments that we put in developing the Dominica State College. The DSC has played a pivotal role in that regard. In fact, you will recall a few years ago when the Prime Minister made a pronouncement that we sought to have one university graduate per household. You will remember the naysayers laughing us to scorn. While we may not have achieved 100% success, I give you every assurance that by 2020, every Dominican family will have not just a graduate from the State College, but a university graduate, including you, the people of Roseau South and Newtown. But all of that could not and cannot be achieved without prudent management of state resources. That is why, from the very foundational stage, and I see our teacher here, at the early childhood level, we ensure that we provide you with support to ensure that your children can do well. And you heard the senator speak of no less than 4 early childhood facilities in the immediate area. We ensure that parents now can send their children to these facilities without having to think of where the next $50 is coming from to pay that child's school fees. And we did this through an intervention by providing a monthly subvention to those facilities. At the primary level, we ensure that a support mechanism is put in place. We provide education support through the trust fund by provision of textbooks, the school transportation program, and importantly, the transfer grant. And let me say to you, friends, we will ensure that this year, all of the support that we give to your children, it will continue despite the global financial climate in which we operate. If children are not provided with basic education, their ability to develop a sustainable livelihood is seriously compromised. It cannot be right that the young boys of Newtown, the young men of Roseau South, they can only resort to the sea as fishermen. We must go beyond that. And it is in recognition of this that today we are making resources available to ensure that every young man, every child, every young woman is given an opportunity at receiving not just primary and secondary education, but that they can access the Dominica State College. And if we have to sacrifice some of our infrastructural works, the Prime Minister has given you the assurance that we will do to ensure that we provide the young people of Roseau South, Newtown, and Dominica a quality education. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say to you that we have actually spent in this last financial year no less than 15 million EC dollars providing support to our young people to achieve an education out of state. Now, we're not talking about the monies that we are spending here in Dominica. We're speaking here of monies that we are providing to support the children of the average people of Newtown and the Roseau South to attain a university degree. Let me say to you, in addition to that, you have heard the Minister for Science and Technology speak of the millions that we have expended at the Dominica State College to develop a center of excellence. Let me call on the young people of Roseau South, since Stock Farm is within close proximity to your constituency, take advantage of the opportunities that we are creating to ensure that we can create business enterprises and new jobs in the ICT sector for the young people of this area. In addition to that, I want to, in this short time that I have here with you, to be very clear, and you heard Dr. Darrow speak to the source of funding. While over the past few weeks and months we have focused quite a lot of attention on the CBI program, and rightly so, and I'll tell you why. Because within the Dominican society, whether they are here or out in the diaspora, there are some who have launched a steaming attack on the source of funding that we have used to generate revenue to provide for our people right here in Dominica. And so we have a responsibility as Dominicans to defend our future, because an attack on our economy is an attack on the future of Dominica. So we have spent a lot of hours educating the Dominican public on why it is necessary that we must do what we are doing to sustain our people. But let me say to you that while some are seeking to destroy our economy, we have a prime minister, and I'm confident we have a cabinet of ministers who understand that in order for our elderly people who have made a contribution to national development to enjoy a decent living in their twilight years, we must go out there and source the requisite funding. Let me say to you, God forbid, but should the CBI program not be able to generate the kind of revenue that we now experience, friends of Roseau, I give you every assurance that the Minister of Finance, the Prime Minister, with whom we have the pleasure of working, is endowed with wisdom, he's endowed with prudence, he's endowed with the understanding to craft some other creative way of generating revenue to take care of the people of Roseau South and Dominica. I want to end tonight, but before I leave this podium, let me say to you that while it is true, and Dr. Darrow alluded to that we are a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, we need to recognize that among us, there are many who do not understand that the government of Dominica is here to serve every single Dominican. This is not about labor or workers of freedom. It is about the people of Dominica. And so the people of Roseau South, who are yearning for leadership in this time and in this hour, we have a solemn responsibility to provide you with the resources, whether it be for the development of your roads, for the development of other infrastructure, or for the development of our human resource capacity. We will ensure that every man, woman, boy, and girl in Roseau South benefits from the resources of this country. However, for those who believe that Dominica belongs to the Labour Party or Dominica belongs to Roosevelt's carrot, tonight I want to be very clear, without casting any shadow of doubt, that while Roosevelt's carrot remains Prime Minister and the Labour Party remains the government of the day, we will not allow anybody internally or externally to determine for us as government what is best for the people of Dominica and Roseau South. And that is why we are here tonight, because you have given us a clear mandate. And although Roseau South did not vote for the Dominica Labour Party, we are here dialoguing with you when your pal rep refuses to dialogue with you, because we recognize that resident in Roseau South is a wealth of knowledge, and that we want you to advise us. Tell us tonight what it is that we ought to do using the resources that this administration can and will generate for the betterment of every individual in Roseau South and Dominica. Ladies and gentlemen, having said this to you, let me give you the assurance that in the face of the reopening of school, the school year has come to an end. Be assured that you will benefit from the uniform assistance, you will benefit from the provision of textbooks, and that the people of Roseau South, the children of Roseau South, and Newtown more specifically, shall not be left behind, because Dominica is yours, and so the resources of Dominica belong to you, the people of Roseau South. Thank you very much, and God bless Dominica, and God bless the Dominica Labour Party.
The powerful man from Delis. Let's put our hands together. Delis, Plaine, and other communities in the Plaine constituency. That was an impactful presentation, Honorable Seja, and we are very happy that we had you here this evening. Put your hands together once again. Ladies and gentlemen.